Before Megatron was Megatron, he was the Machine Robo P-38. And he looked a little bit different. This is the Super 7 ReAction version of this guy, and we're going to take a look at him in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton and it'll let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below, also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is basically the Machine Robo version of Megatron, where instead of being kind of silver with like a black handle and black legs and, you know, some red highlights and stuff, basically he is a black body that has some brown and blue highlights, and certainly some silver highlights. It is like the precursor, if you will, to Transformers. Now, I've never looked at anything from the Super 7 ReAction lines, and there have been many of those lines, because to me, it's a little less than even Action Masters were. Is that true? Am I being too harsh? Well, we're about to find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And so, yes, something quite different here. This is part of my Christmas gift from Maximal 10. I've always said that I don't really understand the Super 7 ReAction series. People have compared them to Action Masters. I don't think they're as good as Action Masters, but we'll see, because I've never actually handled one. I know that here the regular retail is $22. I'm sure Maximal 10 didn't spend that on this, which means in the end, to get this is about 25 bucks. I don't know if I see 25 bucks in value here, but you never know. I'll keep an open mind. Before we look at him though, we have to look at the packaging first. And so here we have the packaging, and this is actually Gun Robo. It's not technically Megatron, although being all black, it kind of looks like Megatron X from Cyberverse, if you ask me. Nice packaging here, nice look of Megatron analog with yellow eyes on the front. On the back we see Wave 1, Wave 2, and at the very top you see Blaster and Perceptor, Devastator, Dirge, and Blitzwing. Down below in Wave 1 it was Bumblebee, Jazz, Optimus, Megatron, Starscream, and Soundwave, I think that is. Wave 2 was Grimlock, Jetfire, Alpha Trion, Mirage, Astro Chain, Shockwave, and Rumble, and it looks like Shrapnel. And we know that there's been a Wave 3 with Unicron and Wrecker, and I want to say Quintesson Judge maybe. I don't recall right now, but that's it for the packaging. And so here we have this little guy, and in a package I feel like his head is a little bit too big. I really, really do. It's a nice mold on the head, it's a nice mold on the body. I just feel like there's a slight mismatch between the size of the head and, say, the width of the body. That's just me, it's completely subjective. In terms of transformation, absolute zero, turns into nothing. In terms of look, I mean, for what it's trying to homage, it's quite good. I mean, 9? I'd say maybe even a 10. But we have to remember that this isn't actually an homage to Megatron, it's an homage to the MC-12 Gun Robo P-38, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know, I'll be kind and give it a 10 for the look. Because I do like the molding, and it does look like it jumped off of a cartoon screen. I'll give credit where credit is due. So we have a 0, we have a 10. Right now the guy's getting a 5, right? What about the articulation? People have said Action Master. Let's talk about that. We have a head that goes left, right, no up and down. Very Action Mastery. This gets in the way a bit. The arms, they can go all the way around like an Action Master. Also, no out to the side, no bicep swivel, no elbow, no nothing. But again, Action Masters didn't either. Theirs just went around. So far, so good. Then we get to the lower body. And this is where Action Masters are way better than this. Action Masters at the hips, the pelvis, whatever you want to call it, had ball joints, metal ball joints. And the way the hip was molded, it went around the ball joint, which meant you could get a full splits out to the side, full splits forward and back. There was also a knee. So it was actually quite well articulated for the time. That said, because you had a metal ball joint inside of a plastic socket, sometimes the plastic socket would get sort of chewed up with the metal ball joint, so to speak. This, however, and unfortunately, not to its credit, can go forward, sure. And you see the blue on the inside, which is accurate, and the beige on the outside for the pistol grip, that's accurate. Only back to there, almost no back, disappointing, and no knee at all. This is not as good as an Action Master. It's just not. I wish it was, but I can't say that it is. I find the whole 5 points to be kind of lame and lazy. I think you could have done better, especially with what you're charging for this. I'm going to give the articulation about a 2. Overall, this is like 3 or 4. Much like Funko Pops, I don't really understand these. I guess if you're not planning to transform them or articulate them or do anything except have a row of them lined up on display, then it serves that purpose because it looks great. Much like Funko Pops, they don't really do anything. You just display them, and if that's what you're in for, cool. But I feel like Funkos are about 10 bucks, you know, maybe 12 bucks. This was $22.99 plus tax at regular price. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm just not seeing it. To me, this is fine, but it's fine if we're saying it's $5, $6 at a dollar store. Make of that what you will. And here we are, and here he is. So first things first, I love the look of it. I mean, it does definitely look like a Megatron. If it was colored Megatron colors, and of course there's a release where it has definitely been colored Megatron colors. I mean, I'm looking down at it right here, right now. And like, it looks like it jumped out of the cartoon in terms of sculpt and coloration. Tons of paint. I even like the feel of the plastic used on it. Nice materials. However, there is no transformation. I do think the face looks a little bit off and the head is a bit too big for the body. And the articulation is real limited. Like, that's the extent you're getting. I mean, no wrist, no elbow, no bicep, no knee, no out to the side, no waist. It's great for, and I've said this about Super 7 ReAction, I guess, products before, Transformers or otherwise. I feel like, much like pop vinyls, they are great for display, but if you want to do anything more than display, well, they're not quite that good at anything else. The articulation is nothing and there's no transformation. A lot of people have said, oh, they're like modern versions of Action Masters. Action Masters had knee. They could go out to the side. Granted, waist up, they're very Action Mastery, what with just the head going side to side and the arm going around. But the lower body Action Masters, shockingly, were actually much better. This is a line where you gotta know what you're getting into and you gotta be focused on display only. And a display that looks like it jumped off of the cartoon. If that's what you're looking for, these are great. If you're looking for anything more, maybe keep moving. Anyway, that's what I think of the Super 7 ReAction lines by way of this guy. Let me know what you think about this guy or anything else from the Super 7 ReAction lines. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Of course, you can hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, please and thank you, hit the subscribe button, man. Stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. Why not? And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.